At the village edge, mischievous genies plot, their eyes gleaming with wicked intent towards a newborn. They surge forward, ready to unleash their impish plans. Suddenly, a barrier of silver medallions and protective fishnets halts their advance. Pei Hang's mother, a wise witch, stands firm, the charms radiating a protective aura against the approaching threat. Under the warm sun, young Pei Hang assists his father in the fields, preparing the soil with care. The air is thick, with the rich scent of the earth as they work side by side. "It's a busy sowing season, isn't it, son?" Father asks, his brow furrowed with concern. Pei Hang looks up, his eyes bright with affection. "Yes, father, but I am happy to help." Sunlight floods Pei Hang's humble home, illuminating the resolve etched on his mother and father's faces. "Our Pei Hang is truly gifted," Mother says, her eyes shining with pride. "His talent shines brighter each day." Father nods firmly. "Chang'an is where he needs to be. It is his destiny," Father declares, his voice filled with conviction. In the warm glow of lamplight, Pei Hang bounces with a mischievous glint as his parents sit at the wooden table. "I'm starving. When are we going to eat?" Pei Hang asks, breaking the silence with youthful impatience. His mother says, "Son, we need to talk to you about something important," her tone tinged with a serious undertone. His father adds, "We've decided it's time for you to learn a trade, Pei Hang," as his mother says. "You need to support us." Under the vast sky, Pei Hang treads the ancient road to Chang'an, dust swirling with each determined step. The endless road stretches before him, mirroring the long journey ahead, filled with both promise and uncertainty. Each footstep echoes in the silence of the wilderness, a lonely rhythm accompanying his quest. A mix of excitement and reluctance flickers across Pei Hang's face, a battle of emotions in the stark sunlight. His eyes, fixed on the distant horizon, reflect the weight of his ambition and the unknown challenges ahead. Alone on the road, Pei Hang embraces his destiny, pushing forward towards the legendary city of Chang'an. Inside Master Pintu's bustling school, sunlight streams through open windows, illuminating training grounds. Pei Hang stands poised, a figure of intense concentration amid the lively chaos. His movements are fluid, each strike precise, a testament to his unwavering dedication. Other students pause, watching Pei Hang with admiration and a hint of envy. Master Pintu observes from the sidelines, a subtle nod of approval gracing his lips. Pei Hang finishes his routine, sweat glistening on his brow, a portrait of skill and commitment. Sunlight floods Master Pintu's school, illuminating dust motes and the wisdom etched on Master Pintu's face. Pei Hang stands respectfully before his master, determination shining in his eyes. Master Pintu smiles. "Pei Hang, your talent is undeniable. The world is open to you." Pei Hang replies, "I wish to return and help my family and community," his voice filled with resolve. Flickering candlelight casts long shadows across Master Pintu's ancient school, illuminating the years etched on his face. Across from him sits Pei Hang, his youthful face set with grim determination. "Pei Hang, before you leave, I advise you to find a wife," Master Pintu says, his voice raspy with age. Pei Hang's resolute gaze meets the old master's. "I have no interest in marriage," he declares. In the dreamscape, a gentle voice whispers, calling Pei Hang's name through the ethereal night. The echo of Pei Hang resonates, soft as a sigh in the dream. A voice cuts through the dream, speaking of destiny and connection. "We are connected," the voice says, a promise hanging in the air. "Destined to be together by this red cord," Yin Yang says, her words weaving through Pei Hang's dream. The red cord glows faintly, binding them together in this dream. Pei Hang walks the dusty road, the majestic Chang'an receding behind him, a growing thirst plaguing his steps. A humble hut appears in the distance, a beacon of hope against the parched horizon. He veers off the road, drawn by the promise of respite and a sip of life-sustaining water. Each step is driven by the desperate hope of finding relief from the unforgiving sun and relentless thirst. Sunlight bathes the humble hut as an old woman slowly opens the weathered wooden door. Her eyes, aged with time, meet those of Pei Hang, who stands weary before her. Pei Hang's voice, raspy and low, breaks the silence with a simple request. "Water, please," he asks, his need evident in his parched tone and longing gaze. The old woman studies him for a moment, her expression unreadable. Yin Yang enters the humble hut carrying a pail of water, her steps measured and quiet. Pei Hang lies on a simple bed, his gaze drawn to her, a spark of recognition igniting in his eyes. His eyes widen, hope and wonder mixing in his gaze as he stares at Yin Yang. Pei Hang exclaims, his voice filled with desperate emotion. "It's you. You're the one from my dream. I love you." Dim light filters into the hut, illuminating swirling dust motes and the rough-hewn walls. An old woman sits hunched at a wooden table, her face a landscape of worry etched by time. Her eyes, filled with a deep, abiding sadness, search the shadows. A grave silence descends as she prepares to deliver heartrending news. Her voice cracks as she speaks, the words heavy with dread. "Yin Yang is promised to the Mandarin of Chang'an," she says, her words echoing like a death knell. The Mandarin's imposing figure darkens the doorway of the humble hut, instantly dominating the scene. Pei Hang stands firm, his stance unwavering, despite the overwhelming presence of the Mandarin. A palpable tension fills the air as two opposing forces face off in the confined space. Pei Hang's gaze pierces through the Mandarin's authority, a silent challenge in his eyes. His voice, clear and resonant, cuts through the power imbalance, defying the Mandarin's control. The confrontation intensifies, a battle of wills fought with unspoken words and defiant stares. Before a humble hut, the Mandarin, draped in opulent robes, makes a grand announcement, his voice echoing through the village. He declares the old woman gravely ill, her only hope the Jade, Pestle, and Mortar from the Lake of Gems. His booming voice promises a reward beyond measure to the courageous hero who undertakes the quest. The Mandarin pledges Yin Yang's hand in marriage, sealing the bargain with a commanding gesture. Sunlight fills the modest living room, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. As unspoken tension hangs heavy, Pei Hang, in his early 30s, sits opposite his parents, his face etched with worry, his hands clasped tightly. His parents, their faces lined with concern, exchange worried glances, a silent dialogue passing between them. The room is filled with an oppressive silence, each breath a heavy weight in the expectant air. Pei Hang gathers his courage, his eyes reflecting a deep inner turmoil. "I need to talk to you both about something important," Pei Hang says, his voice barely a whisper in the sunlit room. Inside Pei Hang's family home, warmth fills the air as his mother lovingly places a small packet into his waiting hands. Delicate red seeds are nestled within a miniature fishnet, a vibrant splash of color against the woven threads. Her eyes glisten with maternal hope as she imparts ancient wisdom. "These seeds will restore things to their original size," she says, her voice filled with urgency. Her expression turns serious, a protective instinct rising within her. "They'll protect you from the Genies," she warns, entrusting him with this precious safeguard. Pei Hang arrives at the blue river's edge, the water shimmering under the sun. He produces a white seed, small yet potent, with untold power. With a flick of his wrist, Pei Hang sends the seed soaring into the river. The river visibly reacts, its waters shrinking back in awe. The riverbed is revealed, glistening with newfound exposure. Pei Hang crosses the diminished river with effortless grace and newfound ease. Under the open sky, Pei Hang arrives at the confluence of the red, white, and black rivers, each a unique torrent. With focused intent, he prepares the mystical white seeds, their potential shimmering in the sunlight. He casts the seeds into the raging waters, a silent incantation escaping his lips. The rivers visibly shrink, their fury momentarily quelled by the seed's potent magic. Pei Hang steps confidently across the diminished currents, a triumphant stride marking his safe passage. Upon Mount Sumi, Genies, faces twisted with rage, encircle Pei Hang. The diminished rivers bear witness to his deeds. Pei Hang stands firm, ambition burning in his eyes, a stark contrast to the Genies' collective fury. The Genies demand answers, their voices echoing, "You have shrunk our rivers. What do you want?" With unwavering resolve, Pei Hang barters. "I will restore them, but only if you give me the Jade Pestle and Mortar." The air crackles with tension as the Genies consider Pei Hang's audacious proposal. The great Genie's gesture unveils a colossal pestle and mortar, dwarfing everything in the room with its mountainous size. Shadows stretch and dance as the Genie smiles, a mischievous glint sparkling in his ancient eyes. "Take it before sunset, Pei Hang, if you dare," the Genie booms, his voice echoing through the vast chamber. The challenge hangs in the air, daring Pei Hang to seize the impossible task before the fading light. Inside the great Genie's home, Pei Hang passionately outlines his ambitious plan, conviction blazing in his eyes. Genies gather, their expressions a mix of skepticism and curiosity as Pei Hang gestures emphatically. Pei Hang vows that once the mortar gleams with gems, he will revive the rivers to their past splendor. His words hang in the air, a promise of restored glory and a future brimming with hope. The Genies watch, their ancient hearts stirred by the prospect of revitalizing their beloved waters. Inside the great Genie's home, Genies fill a large mortar with mystical ingredients under the warm light of day. Pei Hang watches intently as the mortar fills, her expression a mix of anticipation and determination. She holds a small, white seed, its glow hinting at the magic it contains. With a gentle touch, Pei Hang uses the seed to shrink the massive pestle and mortar. The enormous tools reduced to a manageable size, their transformation complete under Pei Hang's control. Pei Hang sprints towards the humble hut, a beacon of hope amidst the wilderness. He bursts through the doorway, breathless but triumphant. The jade pestle and mortar held high, a figure emerges, casting a long shadow over the humble dwelling. The Mandarin's stern visage breaks the calm. "I have come to claim Yin Yang." Pei Hang's eyes flash with defiance, clutching the jade pestle and mortar tighter. Tension hangs heavy in the air, a battle for destiny about to unfold. In the sun's glare, Pei Hang holds up a letter, the imperial seal gleaming, delivering a crushing blow to the Mandarin. With a flourish, Pei Hang restores the pestle and mortar. Pei Hang presents the Mandarin with a vial of medicine, a gentle smile playing on his lips as he takes Yin Yang's hand. United in love, Pei Hang and Yin Yang are married, their wealth now dedicated to schools for the poor.